Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons. It's the 5th edition.
Okay.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Chris Baker. I'm
Hi.
a badass.
I'm Dominique Lewis.
I'm Chad Rose. I'll be DMing these guys.
And I'm Tabitha Brown.
You are Tabitha Brown as of
Yes.
yesterday.
2 days ago.
Okay, so this is the new edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and I know you guys really haven't played a game like this. So I'm just going to go over the super simple basics.
Okay.
It's going to be very short because we don't want to waste time just reading walls of text. So in the game, you create a character using an archetype. And if I understand what archetype means, you pick like fighter. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're just a guy with a sword and a shield or whatever. You could also be like maybe like a Native American, you know, as an example, kind of
Okay.
fight, maybe bow and arrow or spear or
Many different categories.
yeah, you think Japanese, you know, with the woven armor, samurai sword. It can literally be anything. It's just
Okay.
fighter is just a label, and then you branch out into what you want to be.
Okay.
So there's fighter, there's magic user, of course, cleric, and rogue. Those are the 4, and you just kind of pick which seems to go best with what you have in mind for your character.
I don't know what those last two mean.
So a cleric is basically a priest,
Okay.
which can be anything like somebody that goes around like pushing their religion. I hate to use the word pushing, but you know what I mean.
Okay,
Right.
so no.
Like,
Okay.
right,
Next.
okay. Or it could be somebody like an empath, or somebody who just goes around helping people, like Mother Teresa. Their
Okay.
efforts in life are to help people. Or you could be what's considered a zealot, like you're so intense about your religion that you're a little, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could be like a druid in the woods, or somebody that helps people. A hippie maybe, a good example.
Okay.
You know, just give me an example of what falls in that. And then the rogue is a thief. So you
Okay.
could be like Robin Hood, or like an assassin, or just like a kind of a scoundrelly dude. You may actually be a good person, but you're a rogue.
That's
Okay.
totally right.
I know, I think that's a good one for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get to like actually creating the characters, I'm just going to run through the very basics of how you do things. What I'll do is I'll describe what you see, and then you'll take what I tell you as far as what you see,
Mhm.
and you'll tell me what your character wants to do. Like, do they
Okay.
want to go to this place, or do they want to interact with this thing that they see?
Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll tell you the result of what you did. I want to look at the papers on the desk, you might say, and I'll say, okay, on the desk you see papers referencing whatever they might say in our game. If the action is something that's a little more difficult, like maybe you want to eavesdrop on a conversation of some other people in a room with you, what I'll do is I'll think up a difficulty or assign a difficulty to that task, and then you'll actually roll dice using the abilities of your character to help out to see if you actually can eavesdrop and how much information you can
Okay.
actually. And that could be anything. It could be a stuck door. It could be to remember something. There's actually on the side of the character sheet a list of things like deception if you want to deceive somebody, or nature if you want to recall something about the area around you. So I'll give you some ideas about what to say your character wants to do.
Okay.
And then after either me telling you what the results are, or you rolling dice, so we know if you failed or passed, then I'll tell you what the results were, what happened,
Okay.
and then go on from there. So to do things, like when you have to roll the dice, you use a 20-sided die, which I'll haul out of this bag, and then you assign 1 or 2 of your abilities that your character's going to have to add to the number on the dice, and that'll tell you if you pass or fail. So if you want to attack somebody, you're going to roll the dice, and then you're going to add 2 abilities to that, or 2 numbers, which we'll go over
Okay.
when we get to your character sheets. And that's the same thing when you want to eavesdrop on that conversation. You'll roll the die, you'll get whatever number you get, and then you'll add a stat or 2 from your character sheet.
Okay.
So everything is the same for doing things when you roll. You just add those 2 numbers and go from there. All right, so that's it as far as basically what I do, how you interact with me and the game, and then how you determine if things happen or if they don't happen. So now we're going to get to is the big part, is character creation. And I know you guys already have kind of an idea in your head about what you want to do for a character. So we're going to start with is first thing you do is you choose a race, and that's like elf, dwarf, human, and then you'll choose your class, like fighter, cleric, rogue, whatever.
Okay.
Abby, do you have any idea, were you going to be an elf, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you were elf. You were
I was an elf.
Elf, and did you have any idea? No, not yet.
What would my cat be? I don't know.
Oh, that's right. You're cat folk. Duh. So I printed it out.
Okay.
Okay, so you can just kind of glance over that if you want, and I'll pull up elf. So elf starts there. And some of the stuff you won't understand, like when it references stats, but it tells you about like their history a little bit, their names, elf traits, and then you can just glance at that real quick. Just to give you an idea. No, don't read it all, but just get it, just to give you like a general overview of what they do. This,
Are you supposed to pronounce those names?
Not necessarily. So elf starts there first and goes up there. You don't have to read it all, just skim
Just
over
kinda
it.
skim.
Yeah, yeah, there's like two kinds of elf too. There's a wood elf and a high elf, which do a couple of different things. If you're not sure, just pick one.
Okay.
Whatever you think will make you happy.
So it's human.
You?
Yeah.
Where do you
A
see
race of cat people.
that? Yeah. Well, you're not human so much as you're cat folk, which is like another race. You're
That's me.
Yep.
Okay. I like he has a bow and arrow. I'm gonna
It's
keep
actually
with
a
that.
girl. I should be checking that.
She?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It looks kind of Phoebe too.
Yeah,
or Ruby.
yeah.
All right, so just write down on here. Just
Okay.
start, and this is just scratch paper. It's not your character sheet yet, but just write cat folk there. How you doing, Savvy? Here, use this one. It's easier. It's just this and this without. It's a little more. It's more abbreviated.
Well, I think I'm a wood elf.
Okay, wood elf.
What a
I figured mine out, yeah.
So yeah, you're very woodsy, which is cool. It doesn't. Yeah, as long as it fits. What did you
The
have?
other one didn't seem right.
The high elf. Right. Well, that's even better. If the only one you know doesn't fit, then we'll go there. Okay. So write on your paper. You're a wood elf. All right, and then you all know basically your classes. Like you're going to be a rogue, so just write in rogue. We'll go over like the specific abilities in a little bit. You're going to be a cleric, right? Because you want to do the healing thing.
Yes.
Okay, you're a cleric.
Or would it be a
Um,
magic user?
The magic user doesn't really have the amount of healing stuff the cleric does. The cleric has a ton of healing stuff.
It's so.
Don't think of it as that. Think, add another, make another name up for it. Healer, druid. Druid, yeah, like an outwoodsy clerical person, a druid. But I mean, the base name is cleric, but you don't have to call yourself that in the game. Magic user.
Is that what I am?
Yep. And you guys are gonna have a person coming along with you to help bolster your group a little bit, which is going to be a fight, I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
Okay, so we've got that. Got that set up. Alright, so the next thing is ability scores. So you have 6 abilities. You have strength, which is just muscle strength.
Mhm.
Okay.
Dexterity, which is nimbleness, quick actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a good one for a rogue. Excuse me. Constitution, which is your stamina. But you could be like a big muscly guy and have stamina.
Right.
You could even be a skinny person like myself. It's just basically your ability to resist the environment, cold, heat, suffering of some kind. That's a
Okay.
constitution. Intelligence, it's book smarts.
Yeah.
Wisdom, street smarts, or maybe smarts because of age and wisdom.
Yeah.
And then charisma, which is your attractiveness, but it doesn't necessarily mean how attractive you are. It could be personality as well,
Right,
or
your
only personality.
speech of some sort, maybe.
Yeah, you're just people are attracted, how well they're attracted to you as a
Okay.
person for a few
Okay.
different reasons. Okay, so we're gonna roll for those ability scores. And what you do is you're gonna roll the dice, 6 times. You're just going to write the numbers down, and then you're going to assign the numbers to whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not
I know
rolling
what
for
you're
a specific
saying,
thing. We
so-
roll the
No,
6
you
and we
know.
decide
That
what
way
we
you can
want.
assign them exactly as you want.
I like
so
that.
What is this called?
your
Like what we're doing?
ability scores.
Ability scores.
So Tabby, you're going to do ability scores. Yep, strength. Dex 6 to get strength.
Strength?
Yep, strength. No cards.
Oh my god.
That was awesome.
That's funny. That's cool.
Strength, dexterity,
Yeah.
constitution.
Constitution?
It's constitution. No. That's the tree here.
Oh, okay. I gotta go there.
Here you go, Chris. Right here, right down the side.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
I have to get up.
That's okay.
I'm
Yeah, yeah. When you get up, we'll pause what we're doing and wait for you to get back. Yeah, no, you're all good. Okay, so we'll just you guys finish writing that, and then we'll just wait for our time.
So you really, this is important because you really need some high numbers to get some
You
good
do,
stuff.
you totally do, but sometimes you roll some good numbers and some really bad numbers, and what it ends up doing is making your character more interesting.
Okay,
Because
you're
it
right.
becomes like a funny thing to try and work with, you know?
Yeah.
It's cute.
Makes them original.
Exactly, yeah. And some people don't see it that way, but in the end, it's just, you gotta laugh about it.
Makes them a very individual character.
Of course, there's some wizardy guys.
Oh, nice, man.
I don't really have any real, I got fire
Those are
darts.
very wizardy.
Those are pretty cool,
And just regular
but I hate
dice.
yellow.
Okay. Do you wanna use, I've got green, I've got.
I'll take
Just the regular ones?
these and the black.
Wait, you only need 4.
I need 6, right?
No, I'll get to that, but you only
You're
need
just
4
gonna
right
roll.
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tabby, you wanna use fire dice?
Yep.
Right, some of these dice are. Oh.
Oh, Chris,
They're
you
the
only have
same.
one 6-sided dice in there. Here, why don't you use these just for this?
So
Okay,
we
so we're
roll
only
all
going up
4.
to 6 with these. We don't have to go to like.
Yeah, what you're gonna do is for each, not for each necessarily right now, but 6 times you're gonna roll all 4 dice, and you're
Oh.
gonna take the lowest and get rid of it, and then keep the 3 high ones, so
Okay.
that'll be 15. And then just write it off, towards where you do like off to the side. And then at the end of, after rolling all 6, you'll assign them, you'll decide what number you want to be the
Oh,
highest.
so you add up all 3 and that's 1.
You the 3 highest, yep, that's
Okay.
1. Yep,
I feel you.
yeah.
Okay.
Alright, go for it.
Oh,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So
18.
take the 3 out.
So you're gonna roll 4 dice.
You gotta take out the smallest.
Right.
Take out the lowest number,
Got it.
and then you'll have like, this would be 9, so just write it over here, and you'll do it 6 times,
Okay.
and then we're gonna assign it to your abilities.
Okay.
That was an 18, that was awesome.
4, 7,
So,
8, 6.
and then you do it again with all of them?
Yeah, then you do it 6 times, so yeah. So what are we gonna do when Chris says, hey, I've got 20?
Being a number crap.
Going downhill a little
I
bit.
know it is going downhill.
I think 9 through 12 are oh no, 10 and 11 are average, so.
Wait, last roll. Oh, again.
Yeah. So it's funny, you basically have all average, which is the average of the dice,
Right.
but then you've got that 18 like right off the bat, that's cool. You can tell me after that. How you doing over there, Chris?
pretty good.
13, 11, 10, 15, 16, 10.
One more.
I got those. I did not do.
No, you got 6 there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I do.
All right, you're good.
Thank you for counting.
All right, so hold on, these 6 heavy. So you got.
Give those back.
Here, let me see. Chris, yours are good. Tommy, keep yours because you got that 18. All right, Tabby, do this since you didn't even get like the minimum here. Everybody's got their scores.
Yep.
All right, so what I'm gonna do this. I guess we're gonna kind of have to do this one at a time, just so.
That's fine.
All right, so we'll start with Tabby, who is a cleric, but it's gonna go kind of like a healer idea. So let me find the cleric section here. All right, so the important statistic for you is wisdom. It's what your spells are based off. Basically, if you go to do something with your spell or spells, and you have to roll the d20, you'll be adding your wisdom modifier, which is a number derived from these. Let me go back to that for a sec. So your scores give you a modifier. So look at that chart, and then just right next to each of these, like next to your 15, right, +2, and then we'll assign them after you know which gives you a bonus there.
Oh, okay.
And Donnie, if you will just do the same. Okay, so right here, find your score on this side, and then just next to your number, write, minus nothing or plus something. Pluses are obviously better.
This goes for both of us on this page?
Yes, yep. Yeah, just use that chart there to derive the modifier, to get the modifier for your character.
You get it? So you're 13, 12 through 13, so you're +1 for that one.
Oh,
You
okay,
feel me?
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying here.
Okay, so you got all yours?
How do you get a score?
No, at the beginning of the game, you can't get a 30. You actually, I don't think you can, it's either 18 or 20 you can't get above right at the beginning of the game. I think if you did a certain combo, you could get a 20. If you rolled well, and got a 20. But yeah, that doesn't usually happen unless there's...
You can only get an 18, right? 6, 6, 6?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go back through the race and class you picked out, and that will change some of those scores.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we've got all that. All right, so back to Tabby. So wisdom is super important for you. That's probably going to be your default highest score.
Mm-hmm.
And then, clear here. And then after that, let's see what you have. You have another +2, and then 2 +1s. So the most important stats to people in the game are strength, because when you go to hit with a weapon, it adds to that weapon to hit and damage. Dexterity makes you harder to hit. It also actually adds to some weapons, like mostly like bows, things you throw,
Yep.
like a spear if you threw it. So for a character like your rogue,
Yeah.
that might be more important to you. The strength one is just for weapons used with your hand, a sword, whatever, something like that. Constitution. All right, and then so Constitution either adds or takes away from your health. Intelligence. It's good for magic users. It adds, like Wisdom adds to her spells. Intelligence sometimes adds to your spells. That's
Okay.
the magic user one. Wisdom for clerics. Charisma doesn't really. They call it a dump stat. It's sometimes where you put your lowest score because you can
Okay.
just say I'm pretty or I'm smart, or not smart, but I'm funny.
Right.
Nobody's going to hold that against you. It doesn't really affect any of our characters' abilities. Okay, so try and assign those. If you have a question, let me know. But
Hey,
going by what you know, go
So,
ahead.
which one's my highest one?
Rogue dexterity. You're going to want to be able to use your bow, which dexterity is going to be adding to.
Okay.
You can't use really heavy armor, so dexterity will also help your.
So do I write 15 plus
So
2,
then
or do I
plus
write
one, I
17?
get that 8.
You write just this number, basically there.
You feel? So
Over here.
you want your
Yeah,
lowest
we're
one,
right
which
to
is
the
your
right.
Well,
And you can actually just
your
copy what I
10
wrote.
to
Just
be
put the
Curtis
put the
one.
number
You
in.
got 2 10s.
Don't change
Yeah,
that
but it
number. Put
depends
the
on
modifier.
which character.
onto the
Which
right
one
of
you?
it. Basically just
I'll
copy
let
that.
Chad finish
Okay.
it right now.
Or just use that for now because you can write it on that character sheet.
So, like this?
Yep. Yep. Right. Yep, right on. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely gonna pay off big for you.
Okay.
Um,
So then I want one of my 12s here too.
okay. Yep. And what did you have? You had another 12.
Yeah.
Constitution would be good. It would give you like a health bonus every time you gain a level. Wisdom's good because a lot of things that harm you, wisdom adds to help you to resist that.
And then just be a little down.
Intelligence for you, yeah, it doesn't really.
Okay.
I mean, and you don't. It doesn't really hurt you game wise. How you doing?
Alright, so
So you're the wizard, or magic user
Right.
guy. So you definitely want the highest in intelligence because that will.
help my magic.
Yeah.
Am I putting
absolutely.
these on there when I write them?
Yeah, just write it next to him. Just write 15 and then plus 2 wherever
Okay.
you're gonna go. Yeah.
So wisdom's my one that I want. Or do you
Okay.
say intelligence?
Intelligence
Intelligence.
for you. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want
that's
them to
gonna
be
my
16. Yeah.
And then probably a good one would be dexterity because it helps make you harder to hit.
Okay.
And you're gonna be a wizard who's gonna pretty much have no.
So I'm gonna use my
armor.
next highest for
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That's what I did, reading.
What did you do? Dexterity. Wisdom. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yep. That pays off all the time. Constitution is good.
Thank you. I'm gonna do yours and magic.
You know what we need to do? We need to push that. We need to push the camera more to the right because, see, it's like aimed at us, but Chris is gonna be writing a lot. So, not just push the whole thing, Chris. There you go. Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
So that I'm not blocking it.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so Chris is doing that still. So strength, yeah.
15, 16, 11,
Mm-hmm.
and my last one is my 10, which I'm putting wisdom. Cool.
All right. Okay. So you're all level 1.
Right.
And what you'll have is one of the dice will reflect what you roll every time you gain a level for hit points. It's so I'm sure you've all played a video game where you leveled up and your character got like more health. So in D&D, the stronger characters have the higher dice, like the 1 through 12, versus like the 1 through 6 or 1 through 4 to determine every level that they get for hit points. So we'll be rolling that in a minute here.
Okay.
Just so you understand that each of you has a different die associated with your health. All right, so you've got your stats. We're gonna alter them a little bit when we look at your race again and your class again.
Okay.
But I want to jump to something else that's fun to do versus just changing numbers. Alright, so there's something in the game called backgrounds.
Okay.
And what they do is they kind of give you an idea about what your character might have been doing prior to
This game.
whatever you're going to be doing, yeah, in this game. So, I'll give one of you this book here. This is the most basic, this is the Essentials Table book, but it has Acolyte, which is kind of a cleric-y kind of background. And just because you're a cleric doesn't mean you have to take the cleric background. You could be a criminal. But what you can do is, I'll give each of you something to read. You can just check it out, just like gloss through it, and get an idea about what it is about. There's like in here, there's Acolyte, criminal, entertainer maybe is what you did. Or were you a sage, which is just basically a smart guy, I guess.
Right.
Or were you a soldier? So this book has a few in it. Tabby, if you want to start looking at that. What you'll also notice is there's a personality trait an ideal, a bond, and a flaw. So
That's nice.
yeah, so you can either roll if you want to just randomly come up with something, or you can choose one yourself, just so you don't get stuck with something you don't like. Alright, here's another one. This one has a few more in it. It has those and adds a couple, so if you want to check those out, and just like breeze through it. You might even decide halfway that you're like, nope, that's not it.
Yeah,
Chris, that's where they start that. Awesome. Yeah, if you have a question about any of them, just ask me. I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of this one.
That's okay.
So between like soldier, the sage, and like criminal,
Yeah.
what are you thinking for my cast?
Soldier, sage, or criminal?
Yeah,
I kind of like criminal actually.
what I got.
Soldier, sage, criminal. Yeah, or soldier, but that's up to you.
Okay.
Maybe your cat folk was in the cat folk army or whatever, police,
Okay.
whatever that thing is. Yeah, or maybe you got into some mischief. You know what I mean? There goes. Just listen to your chicken messages. Yeah, and that's it.
Where's all the, okay, so, I don't understand.
What?
Where are all these numbers? Why is this happening?
Because if you want to randomly, like if you want to just randomly make a character, without picking, you just roll an 8-sided die, and then just number 8. That would be your. Or you can just choose one. Some people just like to do it randomly to come up with new ideas or play something different.
I think I'm gonna be a criminal.
Okay, cool.
You're just playing. There's school.
Alright. Well. So our criminal,
Mm-hmm.
look at these. These are personality traits.
Okay. And pick one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And then do the same for.
Okay. Roll a break. Okay.
Alright, I like this one. An urchin?
Urchin? Yeah.
Kind of grew up on the street,
Yep.
poor,
Yep.
but knows like
Yep.
street smart.
Yeah.
I like that.
So on the right side of its description where it says
Like
personality,
trait, ideal,
yep.
boom.
Go ahead and just read through all of them, and then just write them. Actually, write those on the back of your actual character sheet.
Do I pick one for each?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't have to, like if you read them all and you're like, no, this just doesn't. None of these work with what I have in mind.
Try to find
Skip it.
something.
No, just skip
Skip
it.
it?
Yep.
Okay.
But write whatever you do choose if you find ones that work. And in game they don't really have a. They don't have like a numerical or they don't give an advantage or disadvantage. It's just information
who you
about your
are.
character. Yeah.
You don't want me to write it on this one?
Write it on your real character sheet actually,
Okay.
because we'll start going on with that. Then we don't have to write it twice. Oh, tell me, now your character sheet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no. Here, yeah, don't write it on
Oh.
that one, because it's too much to write. Write it on your actual sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, like on the right side there.
I can't just write the number.
No, because you're gonna have your character sheet, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, what's your ideal? And you're gonna be like, 3. I'm gonna be like, well, what is that? And you're like, I don't know. I mean, you can.
I like that answer better.
You can abbreviate it too. Don't kill yourself from writing. I'm not sure about writing word for word. It's not important. It's almost like they know, you
Mhm.
know. I slept all day, I'm fine. God, I needed to. My stomach finally feels better.
It's funny. I will become the greatest thief I've ever lived, just because.
My character is annoying
What is it?
as I said my character is annoying as fuck.
That's okay. That might be funny. There's a girl on one of the YouTube channels who actually ironically plays a cleric, but she's this holier than thou, trying to spread the word about her religion to everybody and anybody. And she came up with all these little like the god's name is Lathander, so she always goes around saying Lathander is the light. And it's really, it grates on you, but it's not to the point where it's not funny or interesting. It's really cool. Yeah, she did a good job. And she does it in a southern accent, which is even better. Unless she's southern, and I just don't know.
Oh, I gotta choose a flaw.
You don't have to if you don't want to, especially if you don't like them. Yeah, if you see something, if you don't see anything in the columns that works for you, then just skip it.
Do you have twin faced with a choice between money and friends, so I usually choose the money. That is so you.
It's good. Yeah, but that would be just like me playing that character, because I mean, it would be funny.
Right.
Especially if like the question, if everybody knew, you know what I mean? And I was sitting there going,
Right.
That'd be great. you doing, Chris?
I'm good. I'm on my last. I'm on my flaw.
Yep. Cool.
I'm either thinking that one or like I run when things look bad. Because I don't fucking care. Like, I don't know.
And it's not like you could. It's not like if that came out a game, you could, and if it was a really critical situation, you could.
I
you
could
know,
stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on other occasions when it would be funny, you know, and work for you could be like, I'm out. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that one then.
Yeah. It's not like you have to be a complete jackass or anything like that. Chicken biscuits. I'd never had those before. Did we buy those to go on one of the trips out to Talbot Pond? Did somebody grab that box?
Maybe.
I think that's where I first had them. They're delicious. That one work?
Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah.
What if I don't understand the word?
Where are you? This one?
Yeah.
2 or 3?
June.
I will someday get revenge on the temple hierarchy. Brandon me, I heard it. So basically, you're somebody who did something against what should be your beliefs and their beliefs of whoever you are. That's very churchy. It's like you're a
Just
nun.
move on.
Let's put it this way: you're a nun and you go banging everybody. You can.
So
You're
not
fine.
that one.
Naughty
Dirty
nun.
nun.
Yeah.
Be a dirty
There
nun.
is Tabby's a dirty nun. Yep. That's gonna stick with you probably.
No.
You can say it out loud, Chris. It's okay. All right.
So are these all your pieces that you have in
Yeah.
here?
Well, I've actually got a bunch of these, but these are the.
Oh,
And I
okay.
don't. The problem is I don't have many. I got all like monsters. These
Wow.
are just the ones of like.
That's
characters.
a lot though.
Well,
That's pretty
not
cool.
compared to some other people that probably
No.
haven't seen this yet.
Dude, I want to see some big collections. Like,
Well, you'll see all the boxes. I'll bring them down,
Those are
but they're
cool.
all bad guys. They're like not the heroic dudes and dudettes.
why are you always a bad guy? Is that why?
No, it's because I just want to put all the character ones in one box, but I never play a character. I'm always, I usually run the game, so I need more of the creatures and the monsters
Right.
than the hero dudes.
Alright, I'm having fun with this. What's next?
I think what we'll do is we'll go back and do the.
Voldemort?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, there are some Harry Potter ones in there.
What?
They were super cheap. Yeah,
Whatever.
they're like Walmart.
You
It's
You
like,
don't have to say
it
that.
was like no, the package was cheap. It was like 4 guys for like $2, I think. So I grabbed. I don't know who else was in there.
Usually like $2 a piece.
Some dude with a. Oh, maybe it's 3 for like 2. I don't know. Some dude with a broom.
And this dude looks like
That's
fucking-
Malfoy.
Is that wonderful? There's Dumbledore. Whatever it is. Dumbledore. Is that Dumbledore?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Kind of looks like the Lord of the Rings guy.
Yeah, you literally could be used for anything.
Alright.
Did you get yours, Tab?
I got one more.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Chris, take a peek at those. Like I have
Yeah,
yours.
pick one
I'm
out.
not picking one out.
You don't have to because I can still order the one that you picked out the other day.
Okay.
I just waited till after we got back from our trip to make sure I had money. Yeah, I was so nervous about it. I didn't look until today. I was like sick. I'm like,
Dude,
oh
I didn't
god.
want to look.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, I didn't know how much damage I had done. And then that cat. Oh, you don't know about the cat?
No, what?
Oh, shit.
Oh
So-
my god, you didn't tell me.
You're like, oh my god.
Okay.
So, Brittany wanted me to come up and help pull linoleum and carpet up in their new place.
Yeah.
So, she's coming to pick me up, and she's like, "Do you got cat food?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I got cat food. Why?" She's like, "Just put a little in a baggie. Danny found a stray cat behind the restaurant."
Okay.
So I'm like,
Oh yeah.
"All right." So we go, and he's on break, and that's
Yeah.
how we found the cat. So we get the cat to come out with food after like 20, 30 minutes out of the bushes it was in. We used one of my cat carriers. We grabbed it, chucked it in that. Totally like emaciated, like so thin.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's sad.
I know.
Okay.
So we brought it to. We obviously couldn't go to the vet because it was a weekend. We went to Walmart. We grabbed like a cat bed, some toys, like a couple of different foods.
Yeah.
Some
Is
wet
it
food.
staying with you?
No.
Oh.
But we took it to the
Bummer.
house because nobody's living there. They're just remodeling it because they just got it. So we put it in a room. It ate a ton of food. It ate a ton of dry food and it ate
Nice.
some of the wet food. But it like couldn't move. It would like get up and then just sit right back down. It was like very lethargic. But if
Yeah.
you saw how thin it was, it must not have eaten for.
Right.
Long
a long
time.
time.
Oh yeah.
Just about on the
Poor
brink of death.
baby.
Right.
How old is that?
We think about a year. It's like its
Yeah.
teeth are really good. I
Is
guess
it nice or like?
it's totally nice. It like just sits there.
Right,
Yup.
aw.
So it wasn't purring, but it would like meow if you looked at it. It just couldn't move. We thought maybe too much had shut down in its body
Yeah,
because of lack
yeah.
of food. And so anyways, we gave it overnight. Today she went back and they gave it more wet food, and apparently it's now moving around and it's got like some energy.
Yeah.
So hopefully, because I honestly thought, because we were going to bring it to the vet Monday, we're doing that tomorrow. I honestly thought we were probably going to take it in and he would be like, or she would be like,
Right.
this
it's
isn't
not
gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it sounds like the thing like is responding to eating, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, so I
So
think Brittany's
let's-
going to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take it to the vet
Nice.
tomorrow and get it shots.
Nice.
Unless he says there is something really
Right.
wrong, then we'll probably pay to put it down, just so
Yeah.
it doesn't obviously suffer. But it sounds like it's getting better. I was like in my head, I was thinking this isn't going to turn out
Right.
good, but
that's good.
you know, she's like, Danny said it's like active, it's like moving around. Yeah, it's totally cool. How's it look?
Good.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. So let's start with Chris, and we're gonna do what modifications are to your character.
Oh, cool.
visit.
So
Yep. So there's two races of elves. There's
I already
what
picked one.
you did. Which one did you pick?
Dark elf.
Dark elf.
Yeah, a draw.
Where'd you see that? Oh, was it in
This
there?
book. Yeah.
Okay.
Do need this book.
All right. Yes, and yeah, actually, I'll leave it right now because we just did something I didn't think you were gonna do.
You're gonna be better. I should find you
My
a
fault.
page.
That was my fault. All right, so we're gonna have dark elves in this campaign. So if anybody's paying attention out there, we are using the essentials kit, but we did add catfolk for you, and which is in the basic game, and the dark elves, which no big deal. We can add that. What is that?
I want something fancy too.
You're talking. Andy. Excellent. All right, you do have something fancy. You're a wood elf nun who sneaks around.
Yeah, you dirty nun.
Yeah.
Dirty man.
You come out of the woods and hit the city. Okay, so Chris, so your dexterity score increases by 2. So since you're using a pen, just modify it on that. So it's going to go from 15 to
Dexterity?
17.
So 17.
Yep. And then that is going to change that plus minus.
Right, that'll get added after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me actually we'll do it right.
I'm gonna put it next to it so we can add it on. I'm gonna put like plus. I'm gonna put these. On
Yeah,
this
you
side.
can. So right now it would be plus 3 at 17 or plus 3. Because we bumped it up from 15 to 17, it adds
Oh, so
another
it's plus
plus.
3.
Yeah. Yep. And it'll probably change again. But okay. We're gonna do something called alignment, which is basically how good or bad you are, but we'll skip that. Your speed is 30 feet. Just write SPD for speed, and then 30 feet.
Okay.
You have dark vision. So just write dark vision, and I'll give you you can see in the dark.
Oh, cool.
Yep. You have keen senses. So, write keen senses,
Yep.
and we won't go. I'm going to list off a few more, but we won't get into them because you'll be writing a bunch of stuff down right now. You know what I mean? But basically, you have keen senses. You spot things very well. You get to add numbers to your chance to do that. We're gonna skip that, and you're a dark elf, so Your charisma score increases by 1.
So plus 1.
No, just
Oh,
the
go 11.
Yep, which is still 0, so you're good
Yeah.
there. Oh boy, you have sunlight sensitivity.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a big problem. You guys, this adventure is gonna take place at night, literally every day. Drow magic. You know a spell called Dancing Lights. So just
Dancing
write.
light?
Yep, just write Dancing Lights spell. It's very cute. And then just
There's a fire one too, right?
there is, but you don't get it until 3rd level.
Okay.
You have drow weapon training. Don't write that down. Just when we're picking out weapons, just remember that you have the ability to use these items.
Okay, there's special items I can use.
Yeah, yep. Alright, Dami, catfolk, where's that sheet?
Right here.
Alright, so let's see this. We're gonna skip all that. Alright, so your dexterity increases by 1. Wow, so it's a 19. So write 19, but it doesn't change that bonus until it gets to 20, okay? Let's see. Your speed is 30 feet. Cool. You have low light vision, which basically means you can see in like dim conditions, like fog or a snowstorm. Not as good as Chris's character's dark vision, which is still pretty good. Cat's claws, that's pretty fucking cool. So,
Sorry.
write cat's claw. Just write cat's claws,
Okay.
and then we'll write some stuff next to it. So write climb 20, which means you can climb 20
That's
feet.
cool.
Yep, instead of like moving 30 feet, you can climb up something 20 feet. You can use them as weapons, so do this. Write, let's see, what did you do? Claws. Write claws again, and then just write D4 next to it, and that way we'll know that you can use your claws to attack. That's kind of cool. Cat-like reflexes. Put that down. And the explanation of that is going to be right this right here, right initiative rolls.
So, you have to write a book
Me?
every time you play?
No, I just got to come up with an idea.
Okay.
It's not too bad. Write plus proficient. Just write plus PROF half, or do the plus. Yeah, plus, and then write half, like 1/2 PROF. And good enough. What proficiency is? It's on your character sheet right here. It's going to be in that circle right there.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be the same for all 3 of you.
Okay.
And we'll get to what that is when we actually fill out this whole thing. But that's your proficiency bonus. It's going to be the same number for each of you, so it won't be hard to know what it is because it'll be the same for each of you. Feline empathy, basically you communicate with cats, lions, and
Wait.
tigers.
What's your character?
You guys are going to have a sidekick character. I'm not going to really have a character.
You're gonna be the narrator.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you will have a 4th because it's easier to set the game up if with the 4 players than it is with 3. I think, anyways.
So you're like a ghost player?
I will have somebody that I can mess around with, yeah. And I will. Well, you guys are going to need a fighter in the group, so that's what that sidekick character will be. Basically, it's a
Okay.
character that you can add to a D&D game where the party doesn't have something it should probably have.
Okay.
Yep. So did you want to be an ordinary breed catfolk, a large breed catfolk, or a mystic breed catfolk? They don't really explain it, I don't think, but but you can see like it adds some little abilities. Just read through that, and I'll do tabbies. And you are the elf. You're an elf as well. So you're a wood elf. You should totally have been a high elf.
Really?
That's a joke, because of high. I know.
Yeah.
All right. So your dexterity score increases by 2, so it goes from 12 to 14. Your ability score increases by 2.
Bring them over after
They're so good. So yeah, so your dexterity increases by 2. So you go from, what did I say, 12 to 14.
What do I write? A 14
Just
here?
cross out that 12 and write 14, yeah. Or do that. And then your bonus modifier changes to +2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. Let's see. Your speed is 30 feet.
Whatever.
Mom, keep us fell down.
I think I'm gonna go with the large breed cat folk.
Okay.
Do I just write it
Do you
here?
think
Just
that
write-
one sounds better than like this? I kind of don't understand this one, so.
Just, yeah, that just complicates things.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
a large breed cat.
Yeah. Speed, SPD, 30 feet. Do you need to, here, go do that, Tabby, if you need to do that a little bit.
Okay,
So
so
speed
then I'm
30
gonna
feet.
do-
Yep.
Your strength score increases by 2. Okay. 14. What's that? Plus
Mhm.
what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Your
You're
strength
good.
score increases by 2, so it goes from 12 to 14.
So what's that? A plus
2.
2? Okay.
Yep. Oh, even better. So the damage for your claw strikes is not the 4-sided die; it's the 6
the
now. So
D6.
it does more damage. Yeah, cross off that 4. You have the stealth skill, so yeah, go ahead and write it in. Just write stealth skill. I'll know what it is. We'll add it to your. And then your carrying capacity. Oh, that's interesting.
Push, drag, or lift. That's
Yeah,
cool.
just write powerful build.
Okay.
It probably will never come into play because you probably can already carry as much as you need to carry, but it's something interesting to keep in mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Dexterity.
Yep. So we did that.
Speed.
You have dark vision.
Do I just write that?
Yeah. You can see in the dark. And you have keen senses. So basically, like Chris, you're good at spotting stuff or noticing things. Fey ancestry. Did I give you that one, Chris?
No.
I think that might not be.
What does
Oh,
that mean?
Chris, yeah, you have it too. You have just write advantage. I'm gonna write this so you understand it. Advantage on saves against charm. And then you were the wood elf. So your wisdom goes to 16,
Oh, shit.
but
Is this the same thing?
this one adds even more stuff.
No, I mean this thing.
What
Am I
about it?
writing the same thing? The same?
Yes, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you write advantage on saves against charm?
Okay.
Cool. All right. Your wisdom increases by 1 to 16, so I have 16, and that'll be +3. Your walking speed increases to
So
30.
this is, wait, 16 and a 3?
Yep. And then that speed changes to 35.
Oh. How annoying is this?
What?
Now I see why you want a pencil.
Right, but that's why I got the scrap paper though. That way you can just transfer it over to
Okay.
here, and that way it won't be a mess. You have elf weapon training, so there's some weapons you normally wouldn't be able to use when we go to pick out equipment for you that you will be able to use. So just remember that there are some stuff you'll be able to use, and we'll go back to this. And the other thing you have is Mask of the Wild. So you can basically hide when lightly obscured is the best way to write it. I can Mask of the Wild dash hide when lightly obscured.
Nice.
Alright, so let's see. So we did that. You guys picked your backgrounds. I think we're almost there. Why don't you flip your character sheets over and we'll write in some stuff here. Tabby, you have one? Yeah, you do. Okay. So now is the time to write in your you basically write in the box, the rectangular box. You write in
The numbers
the
that you
roll
have.
number, the number you're at. Like if it's,
So
go ahead.
I rolled 13.
Yeah.
Would I add the 1 that I have and make it 14 now?
No,
No?
no. Just write in the big number, not the one with the
13.
plus or minus.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if your strength, like for
18.
hers,
So
what's your strength?
14
right? Just write 14 in the big box, and then the modifier, which
Down
is
bottom.
Plus
yeah,
two,
plus
okay.
2.
Okay, that makes sense.
And, it's one of the things they've talked about taking out of the game is having to have 2 numbers. Just roll for your modifier and then write the modifier. But no, they make you keep the
Okay.
for whatever reason. So you
So
would
do it that
have
way. Cool.
for strength 13 in the rectangular box, and then you put the modifier, which is plus 1 in the little diamond, and then just do that for everything.
If it's plus 0, do I?
You can just leave it blank.
I still put plus
You,
0.
yeah, either one. Either way, doesn't
Whatever.
matter. It's all good. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on the things listed.
The side.
Yeah, so basically what you have is you have a list of items in the box with the statistic, like intelligence, ability. Like intelligence has arcane and history and investigation and nature and religion. And what that's saying is you're intelligent
In these specific
yeah,
things.
that you might check off depending on what you chose for a race, what you chose for a background.
Okay.
Alright. So to give you an idea of how it works, we'll start with Tabby. So she is an elf, she's a wood elf. So one of the things you are is because you had that keen senses that you wrote down, you have proficiency in the perception skill. So if you look under wisdom, you'll see perception. So check that circle. Chris, you have it too.
And
I have
what was it?
That's right, you had stealth, yep.
So I checked that
Yep.
one.
You are proficient, you have keen senses, so you're proficient in perception. So if you look at
Perception.
wisdom,
Oh, down wisdom.
yep, then go to the right, look for perception and just
So put
check
an
our
X in
mark.
that.
Yep, yep.
Does it say it here in the book? In the
It's-
section?
Yes,
Or-
under elf, because what dark elf has, it has a heading for elf, and then they add some more abilities under dark elf.
Okay.
Alright,
So
and
go
then-
to elf.
Alright, and then now we're gonna go to Tabby's class features. She is under the cleric branch, if you will. Let's see here. So your proficiencies are, those are the arm and weapons. We'll skip those for now. Alright, so you get to choose 2 from this list. History, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion. And just look and see where they are. And decide if you have a question, let me know, but
Well, I know one for sure.
yep. You're the cat folk.
Where were they again?
It is under skills. Choose 2 from those. Communicate, blah blah blah. Did they not give you any skills? Ability score increase, age. Alignment, capital, blah blah blah, speed, access majesty.
Okay.
Alright, then you are large breed. I think you just get the stealth skill, but they give you a bunch of other stuff like the claws and whatnot.
Damn, that's.
No, that's okay. I mean, alright, so what did you choose?
Persuasion?
Just persuasion and medicine?
Mhm.
Alright, so that's perfect because you wanted to go the medicine route. So what doing this is gonna do is just add to your chances to perform that task. How you doing, Chris?
I'm not finding it.
Here, let's see. This is the dark elf one. So
I might have just skimmed over too much.
we already did the what am I trying to say? The one that you had too. Keen senses. We already did
Yeah,
keen senses.
perception.
Alright, so you're a magic user, so you're a magic user. A wizard. you choose 2 from that list right there.
Oh,
Where it
okay.
says skills. And Tommy, yours is road. Where it says skills, choose
Oh, okay.
4 from that list. If there's
Choose
any,
4,
yeah, if
okay.
there's any of them you don't understand or want to know what exactly they mean or how they might be used, let me know.
The sleight of hand.
Pickpocketing,
Oh, okay.
or doing something without somebody seeing you.
Oh, okay.
Stealing tiramisu from
Wouldn't that be considered?
what?
I already got
Mask of the
Skull,
Wild.
so I don't
It is,
need
yeah.
that. I'm gonna do.
It helps. Basically, characters have a harder time hiding in plain sight or being lightly obscured where you aren't affected by it.
Okay, so I'm gonna do sleight
Which
of
I guess would be lightly obscured would be
hand.
fog. I think somebody else had
Yeah,
something
it's a
similar.
mist.
What is arcane?
Yeah.
Insight.
Yeah, lake foliage. What'd you say, Chris?
What is arcane?
That is a magical knowledge.
Okay.
That's a good one for a wizard.
I was gonna say it was either that or insight, which I couldn't find on here, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Okay, I picked my 2.
You got your 2. All right, let me grab that again. So now
You
we're
saw.
So going back to you, Chris. Now we're gonna look at your background, which was urchin,
Yes.
and changes if you want to add some stuff. So, all right. So you're skilled in sleight of hand and stealth because of your urchin upbringing. That
Sleight
should
of
be in
hand
there.
and stealth.
Yep.
Okay.
You have tool proficiencies. Where can you write those?
Let me write them on the side here.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe write wherever you want. Write tool proficiency or just write tool PROF. Disguise kit and thieves tools.
Disguise kit.
Mm-hmm.
Thieves tools.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
All right. You also have something called city secrets. So basically you just know how to get around a city quickly. It's probably more of a role playing thing than an actual
Right.
mechanical advantage. But
Is acrobatics or athletics more important?
well, you're already good at acrobatics just from being so high in dexterity,
Okay.
and you're already actually proficient in athletics, so you might as well go acrobatics. You're
Well,
already-
I just put that.
Oh,
check,
you
that's
did.
why. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. Yep.
And then what should I pick? I still got 2 more.
Whatever you want, Bridget. Looks good.
Deception, insight,
So-
intimidation, investigation, perception, performance.
Deception is
persuasion.
deceiving somebody. Insight is listening to a conversation or meeting somebody and thinking to yourself, like figuring something out about them by just
Okay.
like your knowledge. Like, Chris doesn't look like a deviant, probably an upstanding person. You know, you hear that kind of thing.
Okay.
You have insight into what you're seeing. Intimidation is obviously intimidating somebody into doing something. Investigation is clues, finding clues, recognizing clues. Perception, I think you already have that. That's a good one. That's noticing things.
Okay.
Yeah. Noticing
Perception.
hidden people
Okay.
or hidden
And
things.
then that's persuasion. Okay, so perception.
And you picked your 2. Oh, and your background was, what background did you say? Was it the
I'm gonna
acolyte?
go with. I think I'm gonna go with deception.
It
Deceiving
was.
people.
They serve those apple fritters.
You want me to?
What?
Oh,
I
you
go-
can. I was gonna.
Fritters.
I don't care. I can go just turn the. I just gotta turn the oven on.
Okay.
Alright, so skill proficiencies, you're proficient in insight and religion. And it says languages 2 of your choice.
Ooh.
I don't know how to tell you all the I mean, just think like elf, dwarf, goblin, kobold, human, whatever. And just or hang on to them for a later date, and then just be like, hey, I can speak that language.
Yeah, we're
Just
gonna do
because-
it that way.
Right, which is a good way to be good at something that we didn't know you would be. All right, so let's see. We've got all the backgrounds. You chose all of that. Saving throws. You're proficient in saving throws as well.
Mhm.
Dawn. Or
No, wait. Me, right?
Yeah, let me do the cleric first. Actually, let me do it from that one.
Against charm.
Hold on. Let's cleric. Okay. Alright, so you're proficient in 2 saving throws as well. Wisdom and charisma, so that's where that box comes in. So the wisdom one and the charisma one. Dami, you're proficient in dexterity and intelligence saving throws. So that, yep, and intelligence. Very good. And Chris is a wizard.
But I need
The
something for
wizard.
intelligence.
Chris, you're going to be
Sounds
proficient
good.
in intelligence and wisdom.
Intelligence.
Yep.
Wisdom. And what are saving throws of the dice?
It's the same idea. It's a saving throw is like say a dragon breathes fire on you. There's a chance that you can. There's a chance Dami could resist being hit by that.
Or I could use like magic or something to resist it.
Yeah, usually with the saving throw, it's a natural ability.
Okay.
Like I'll compare your character with Dami's. Like she would roll the die and add more because she's proficient in in that dexterity saving throw. Whereas you still have a +3, but she has that box checked, so it gives her an
Gotcha.
additional number. And what that additional number is the proficiency bonus. So anytime something is checked, be it one of these boxes or circles, you add your proficiency bonus. It just means you're better at something. You're
Okay.
even more. You have natural ability by the
No.
rolling somewhere, but you're also trained in it, I guess you could
Cool.
say. Yeah. All right. So this is where it gets a little tricky. This is the abilities
Ooh, I
of your
like tricky.
character, or the things they can do. Tabby, you've got to do 2 things. You have to pick a domain, and there's a life domain and a war domain, and basically it's going to add abilities to you. What's the easiest way to read this for you? Just read that right there. Just glance through that, and then skip this and read what divine stuff is. It's a little lengthy. It's not too bad. And then Dami.
This was at 2nd level.
Oh, does it? Oh, good. Then just pick Channel Divinity. It's what we like. Your choice can choose your great domain spells on a feature that you choose it for. Okay, so just choose a domain, either the life or war. Just on the other page there. Alright, so rogue.
I don't have to read that, I know what I want.
You do, okay. I figured you're rolling life. Figured as much.
Is war more fun?
Well, if you're that character, it's fine. Alright, Dami. So you have some abilities here. You have expertise, which means you can choose 2 of your skill proficiencies, or one of your skill proficiencies and proficiency with thieves' tools. So you probably want thieves' tools.
Okay.
Make
Yeah.
me
So I would write underneath that +4, just where you can squeeze in, just write thieves' tools.
Okay.
And then like make your own little circle there and check it.
Okay.
And actually put in capital E outside of this and just a line named at it, so I can, it means expertise. Alright, cool. And then go through this list again, and you get to choose another one.
Oh, sweet.
Yep,
Okay.
Chris, wizard.
A wizard.
Alright, so second level arcane recovery. Read arcane recovery. It's a, actually, you know what? Don't even read it.
Okay.
Don't bother. Just write. Where can you write that? On the back of your sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, write, make a dash and write arcane recovery. What it basically means is you can recover some of your lost spells during
Awesome.
an adventure.
Should I do acrobats or investigation? If I do that, I'll top this puppy out.
You can do that.
Top it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very dexterous. All right,
Very.
Chris, you need to choose 6 spells.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
but
cool.
we're gonna give you that book to do it from, just so it doesn't
That book?
get out of control.
Too out of control.
Yeah. This is the regular player's handbook, and obviously it's a little more.
Legit.
How'd you do here? I'll get this to you in a sec. How did you do? You're doing the life domain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I
I'm
think-
awesome.
yeah, it is. It gives you some stuff. So write a place for spells on the back of your sheet. You have first level. You automatically get bless and cure wounds. And then you have proficiency with heavy armor. Maybe you just write it down on the bottom here. So probably put your equipment like in that little box or little area down the bottom.
What am I putting?
PROF proficiency. Just we'll abbreviate it. Heavy armor.
Heavy armor.
Yep. Okay, and then. Jeez, there's so much stuff even in the. Alright, so you're also a disciple of life. At first level, or starting at first level, whenever you use a spell to restore hit points to a creature to heal them, they regain additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. Like Cycle of Life. Write healing.
First level, right?
Yeah, don't just write it over here, I think though. Write healing spells. Maybe not here, nice here. 2 plus spells level. And what that means is if you cast a spell that heals like 1d6 worth of healing, and it was 2, you would add 2, so make it 4. And then whatever the spell's level was, probably at first level, because you're at first level right now. So it would be 1 because you're first level. It would go to 5. So you'd actually heal 5 instead of the 2, which is cool, because that's what you want to do. Alright, so that's all of your special things I think you need to figure out, because I think you have to choose some spells. Alright, let me see.
How long before we play the game?
Play it next week.
Next week?
Play it anytime, yeah.
After we figure this out, we can play.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
heard nothing.
Choose, these are cantrips, you can cast them anytime you want. Choose 3 of those, and then 2 of those spells right there. And if there's anything you want, I'll give you the
But I
very.
already have one of them.
Oh, good, then don't choose that one twice. Don't do that. Chris, you wanna
I
look
have
at the
2.
spells for your dude?
I have
Yeah.
2 already.
Right, but those you were given because you chose that domain. These are the ones you start out with.
Okay. So I get to pick 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me,
And then 3 of the first one?
3 in the cantrip column, yeah.
Okay.
Expertise, sneak attack. So this is something you can do.
Okay.
You have sneak attack. It allows you to add a die to your damage.
Okay.
The way
What's the thaumaturgy?
thaumaturgy. I think it's like making small things happen, like turning a doorknob, starting a fire, or something like that. I think, if I'm right. I'm probably wrong. It's nothing like super duper.
Okay.
Basically, if you sneak up on somebody, or Chris or Dom, you're near a bad person, you can sneak attack that bad person.
Okay.
So, I would just
Like,
write
write them down.
Sneak
sneak
attack.
attack, yep, and then write 1d6 next to it.
Okay.
And we'll show you how to use it in the game, and you'll be using it a lot. What'd you say?
Do I write like cantrips and
Yeah, write the 3 that you want, and then
I didn't know that.
dude, yeah, we're almost there.
They haven't even gotten to play yet.
Well, no, we weren't gonna play tonight. We're just gonna make the characters.
oh my
We're
lord.
just making do.
Yeah.
Is this like when you start Sims?
When do I get to
Oh,
pick
yeah.
out my weapons?
Oh, you go through all the trouble of making a character, yeah? What'd you say?
When do I get to pick out my weapons?
Oh, let me give you that page.
It said I get to pick out one besides what I already start with.
Oh, that's easy. Why don't we
which
do
I
the-
don't know which. You know
We'll
what
do this. We'll do it this way.
Right.
Right.
It says following you in addition to a granted by your
Right.
background.
Your
Which I
back-
think the only thing I had was that
Your background was criminal. It gave
Yeah.
you a crowbar.
oh
So-
okay.
Yeah. Here, do this. Let me mark the pages for you.
Where's my weapons tab? Okay.
Yeah, just write it on the back.
Okay.
Like somewhere on this bottom right, I think. I'm sure weapons. So you're gonna want to write in, make 1 weapons and 1 like equipment right there. And equipment is just like rando stuff, not like armor or weapons. Okay, so there's equipment there for criminal, just that stuff, and then do this. Then go through that list and pick A or B, and for every
Okay.
column. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's crazy, Joe.
Cool. Would you? What?
I didn't know there was a difference between the wizard and the sorcerer.
Yeah, they don't have sorcerer in the
In that
the
book.
essentials one. The sorcerer is a little more complicated.
It
to
is a lot more complicated.
Yeah, even I shy away from that business.
Well, I need to be a level 2 so I can conjure.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Conjure what?
Huh?
Conjure what?
All kinds of stuff.
What's GP?
Gold piece. Where?
Gold pieces?
Gold pieces, yeah, that's money.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got 15 gold pieces.
That's a lot of money.
I
I
know.
don't get any money.
You,
Sucker.
You will. Hold on. I'll
I
do this
steal
up.
them.
3 and 2. Chris, pick out 3 spells from the cantrip section and then 2 from that. If you have any questions, which I'm sure you will, I'll try and answer them.
Okie dokie.
Alright, Tabby. So Tabby needs equipment. That is going to come from here.
You should pick 3 and then pick 1.
3 and then 2 from the first
3
one.
and 2. Okay.
Okay, so do this. Go through that list and you choose A or B or whatever, A, B, or C for each column, okay?
So do I only get to pick one of all these?
You basically
Or one from each?
one from each. Like
Oh,
you pick
okay.
either a rapier or a short sword, and then this one a short bow or a short sword.
I
You just
don't
go
know
through-
what these things are.
Okay.
What is it? What do you not know? Oh, a mace.
Do I write it in here?
Do weapons and armor here and leave that for equipment.
Isn't that what this is?
Well, yeah, but this is weapons and armor. That's gonna be more like random
Well,
stuff.
that's cool. I forgot I already had spells that, like, because of that. So I'm not gonna add them onto here, because that would be.
Right. Don't
Doubling.
double up. Yeah.
If I already
Tabby, that's the
have
same thing.
thieves' tools, do I have thieves' tools already? Or
You have ability in them. You don't have them.
okay,
Oh,
so
wait,
I
wait.
should pick them.
Does this thing give them to you though?
No, I didn't. It didn't say it on there.
Nope, you're right.
So
Yeah.
I should pick
Yep,
it.
Yep.
Okay.
So like that?
Yep. So a mace is it's like a big piece of metal on a handle, and they're basically usually have a design. Like you could someone would have a metal skull on a shaft for walking people. A warhammer, you know what a warhammer? That's a warhammer right there. That's a 2-handed one.
What are
Did you want something? Did you have something else in mind? Okay, just do that then.
which sword's better? I don't know anything about either of those.
Just do short sword for now.
Okay, and then which pack is the best?
Explore spec.
Okay.
And you get all the stuff in the bottom one. It's not a choosy one. So take all this one.
If it says, what does it mean? It says proficient. So I don't get to pick that unless I was already proficient in it?
Right, which I would think you would be. Do you want Warhammer?
No, I was looking at the chainmail.
Oh, okay. So you're proficient in
What is scale mail? Actually,
Actually,
leather armor.
scale,
That would
I
be
think it's like
cool.
leather. No, you want something that like does some protection. Let's go to armor list.
Oh, languages.
Oh, cool, good. You can leave that some other time. No, but that's good. I didn't know that was there. So, well, it's in the place. All right. Okay. So there's scale mail. It gives you an armor class of 14, and it allows you to use up to 2 of your dexterity modifier if you have that much. You can use 1. So what were the choices? Scale mail
Chainmail, scale mail, and leather armor.
or chain mail if proficient. And you are proficient in chain, which is heavy because
Oh,
you
heavy
were
armor.
granted that bonus. Yeah. Where's chain mail? It's way down there. It would give you, so you would have so this is how this table works. You have an armor class of 16 with that. Scale mail gives you a 14, but it allows you to use your dexterity and add that to your, so flip your sheet around for a sec. I know it's kind of hard to make sense of all this. So basically what this is saying is it's only 14
Dexterity is 14.
and it's plus 2.
So and I can use up to 2.
Right, so you could make that a 16, which is the same as the chain shirt, which is good because the chain shirt on stealth, like if you need to sneak around, you get disadvantage, you guys have a penalty. But doing it this way, taking the 14 but getting to add your dex one, oh, that is disadvantage too.
Yeah.
Ah, you're screwed. Take the chain shirt.
Okay,
Sorry, that was very.
so take the chain.
How'd you do, Chris? You got spells?
Good. I picked a mage hand.
Wait, what about
Firebolt.
leather?
Minor illusion. Detect magic. That
Yep,
sounds like that could
that's
be
a good one.
helpful. And
Yep.
shield.
Awesome.
I wanted to do mage armor, but I was like, the shield might be more helpful than the armor.
Yeah, yeah. Here, let me get you going on this. So,
Go back to the thingy. This one?
yep. All right. Chris, you need to. Go down that list, and each column you choose A or B. You
Oh
can
my
get
goodness.
either
Where
A
the
or B
heck
or
is
B.
the weapon?
Oh, you do it as well. What do you need?
Weapons.
Why? What did it ask?
Any simple weapon?
Okay.
I feel like there'd be a lot of those.
There is quite a few. Let's see. So, what am I looking at here?
Or I could just pick the first one.
I know, that's what I'm hoping you do.
Oh boy.
No, it's okay. Take it down. Simple weapons are, I think they're this first group. Do you see it? Simple melee weapons.
ranged and simple melee.
There you go.
All of these.
Yep. I'm gonna mark that page. or
I
something.
got it. So, great club. I want something cool.
Can you set a timer on your phone for 20 minutes?
Well, I'll do. Oh, your phone's out. Okay. So yours is basically done. I mean, as far as equipment goes, right? Yep. Short sword, sword pack, short bow, 20 arrows, thieves tools, core, close hood, 15 gold pieces. Check. Awesome. All right, so let's do this. So, hit points. So, the rogue
Okay, yeah.
rolls a 1d8 to do hit points, but at first level they let you take the maximum. They want you to get a 1 in that. So it's 8 plus your Constitution modifier. So 8 plus the modifier, which is plus 1. Excuse me. So your hit points are 9, so that'll be 9. Your armor class, what was your armor? Was it leather that they gave you?
I didn't pick the leather.
Oh,
Because I chose the thieves tools
no,
instead.
I'm sorry. This one you get all that stuff. When they don't have the A, B, or C, you get it all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That gives you armor.
So hold on. So
Yep.
I've got
You
the
get
thieves tool, then the leather armor,
What's the difference between these
2 daggers.
and 2 daggers. That's cool.
The packs. Do the explorer's pack.
Okay.
All right, and then
So now my
where was I? So it's-
AC.
Yep. So we want to go to armor. There it is. All right. So leather armor. It gives you an 11, but you have to add your dex modifier to it. Right, so you have a 15.
15.
Yep, that's good. And then your hit die is 1. It
Okay.
basically hit die is the same as level. So put 1 in level, and then just fill in your class, which is rogue. Your race is catfolk. How you doing, Ty?
Okay.
You're good.
I'm done that part.
All right, so you chose. All right, so you chose your stuff from that list.
Correct.
X.
Chris needs. Did you pick everything?
I think so.
Awesome. All right. So you trade that book for that book. Chris is gonna pick some stuff out. Chris, write this stuff, equipment down right here, where it says equipment. That's
I
extra
should
stuff.
get those.
That, yeah, you get that. Tabby, let's see, you got all your stuff except the acolyte stuff that we owe you.
Did Jeffrey go up there?
He's probably watching the Pop Tarts. We'll be done with it anyways. Alright, write that stuff down right there. Under equipment.
Instead
Or,
of
or under
Under
whatever.
here?
Yeah,
writing
whatever.
city I grew up in, can I just write map of home?
Yep, yep.
Just to make it a little shorter.
Yeah, and then you can choose as we play if there's someplace you decide you want to have your character be from. Do
Okay.
that.
I have holy symbol under weapons.
Ooh, that's
and armor,
cool.
'cause It said it was on the shield.
Okay.
I like that. That's a cool little thing. I got a pet mouse.
That's creepy.
Hey, could
Oh,
come
you're a
in
wizard, I
handy.
guess. Yeah.
I can make him talk.
Okay, so do I want to live in the rainforest, the savannas, or Arctic region?
Mm-hmm.
Rainforest.
Yeah, if you want to add it. Okay. Oh, you got it already.
What are vestments?
Like holy robes and outfits, which you get as trash eventually. 'Cause you
XP.
XP. Don't worry about that. You're at
No.
0.
Okay. I'm at 0.
Yep. All right.
Egg.
So here we're gonna do this part right here. I'm
Okay.
gonna fill this shit in. Magic attack. You don't care about any of that.
Okay.
Your proficiency bonus is 2.
What's? Oh, I have money. Where do I put that in here?
Right over here probably.
Special
Is it a money
is
thing?
30.
GP. It's gold pieces. Your speed is 30.
30.
Yep. So it goes in there. Oh, there's a spot on your side. My bad, but that's fine too. Your gold is whatever you have.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Denzo.
I haven't done anything on it.
Okay, so your hit points are going to be the maximum to start out with because they don't want you to roll the die and have it be a 1. There we go. So when you roll hit points, you roll a 1d8. You get to, and that, just remember it, and if you forget it, we'll go over it again anyways. But to start out, your hit points are 8 plus your Constitution modifier, so you get the max to start. So you get 10. And normally what you do is you roll like a 1d8 and you pray to God you don't roll low, and then add it. But right now you start out at 10, which
So
is
just write a 10.
yep. Your hit die is 1, which is the same as your level, which is 1. You
Your
gain a
hit
hit
die's
die
gonna
whenever
be
you gain
1
a
too.
level.
Yeah.
Background
Yeah,
for you
everyone
is
does.
acolyte.
It's just your level because we're all level 1, so.
ACOLYT. Your class is cleric. Your race is wood elf. And don't know anything with experience right now. Your armor class was you have a shield.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's the 14
Okay.
plus the 2 from your dexterity that it lets you use. And then you get 2 for your shield, so you're at 18. That's really good. Alright, 2 hit. Whenever you go to hit some, well, let me get Chris caught up to us on this shit. Chris, you are an urchin in background.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta do alignment too.
I'm a chaotic.
You already picked one out?
It said my one was chaotic.
Really? Where does
Yeah.
it?
She has a cat.
I know, but that's
That
funny.
makes sense.
Your hit points are the maximum. So for a wizard,
Let me go back in this one.
I got it right here.
My hit points, HP.
So you normally would roll a 1d6 and add your Constitution modifier. They allow you to have 6 as if you rolled a 6 on at first level, so you don't roll that. So it's 6
Six
plus,
for-
plus your Constitution modifier, which is 0, so 6. Yeah. That's your maximum right now. Your armor class is you're not allowed to wear armor, so the only thing you can add is your Dexterity, which is plus 3. So you start at 9, so it'd be 9, 8, 7. So you're looking at 6.
So 6.
7, 9. Yeah. Well, oh no, 10. It's 7.
So-
Sorry.
7?
Yeah, I'm
7
thinking
it
of
is.
like first edition or something. And then just write level 1, race is wood elf, class is wizard. What do you say?
Level 1.
No, he's a dark.
Oh, you're a
I
dark
wrote
elf.
dark
Oh.
elf. And
Why
then
is
the
he a
class was
7
what?
and not like a 12?
Wizard.
Wizard.
Yep. What did you say?
If he starts out at 9 and it's plus 3, why isn't he like a 12?
It's 10. I made a mistake.
Oh.
So it's out of 10. I misspoke.
For my
Right, so you don't get 13 then? Why is it minus?
It's. Oh, it is.
Really?
Oh my God! Write 13 in there.
for the 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different edition of the game.
Okay.
See, it says Catfolk 10 toward chaotic
Oh,
alignments.
so that could have been. So I'll let you read over them first.
Okay.
So
There. I fixed it.
Chaotic, there's a chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil.
Okay.
And it kind of gives you a brief explanation of what they mean.
Should I be writing alignment or
Yeah,
just
and
kind
then
of?
give tab you want to use.
Okay.
And then
Did I find it in here? Just
yep,
be under wizard.
it should be made up.
Wizard. Going back to wizard.
It says that rogues are usually chaotic neutral.
You want to go with that?
So yeah, I'll stick
Okay.
with that.
That seems pretty good. Tabby, there's lawful good here, and then the kind of range of what you can be. Did you find it, Chris?
I found wizard.
But you
And I'm
didn't find
looking
alignment?
for. It
Hold on.
says alignment.
Here, let's see.
Yeah. Maybe a little.
I think I. Better off.
Just searching.
Let me see. Let me see. I want to describe your character there. This is. Oh, here we go. Interest. They're listed, the different ones listed there.
So I just picked one.
Yeah, just read what they, like, they tell you the name and then they tell you a little bit about what kind of character it is. Alright, so Dami, you have no magic attack, we don't care about that, so your weapon attacks. If you use a short sword, that number in the diamond is going to come from your strength, okay? It's going to be
Okay.
that number.
So 16 or 14.
Well, don't write it in because
okay.
if you use a bow and arrow, then that diamond number becomes that. So
Okay. Oh, so either 2 or 4.
yeah, it depends
Okay.
on which weapon you use. So we can't quite fill, but it tells you, it shows you the symbol to look for,
Okay.
and then the circle is proficiency. So you'll always get that +2 there.
Okay, so I can put the 2
You can
there.
put the 2 on there.
Okay.
Yep.
I only have 20 arrows, so
That's okay, unless somebody like breaks them or you lose them. Damage is dependent on the weapon, so
okay.
we'll
so
leave
leave
that
that
blank
blank.
for now. And then you would add, like if it's a hand weapon like the short sword, you would add the diamond again.
Okay.
If
I
it
could
was
have been a
ranged.
unicorn.
No. Why would you think you could be a unicorn?
It does say
or
unicorn or
dragons.
chaotic
You
good.
can be dragons too.
No, it's not saying that you could be that. That's saying
Saying.
that those creatures, because they're popular in folklore, that's what they most associate with. You know what I mean? Tabby doesn't believe me. She's like, no, I could have been a unicorn. I want to be a unicorn.
Right.
Mm. Did you find one? What one did you choose?
Chaotic good.
Jesus. Figures. All right, so.
I want to be a damn unicorn.
right? Chaotic good in the alignment. So alright, so when you go to hit something, you have a mace. So it's gonna be the number in the diamond. Don't write any of these numbers in, it's just showing you the symbols to look for. If you swing your mace, you add that +1 for strength, and then the circle, write 2 in the proficiency thing.
Who?
Yep. And you would add the 2 from there to that for your total. But it changes, because if you use something like a thrown weapon, like a light crossbow, where you're shooting something, you would use dexterity, so that diamond number would change to a 2. That would still always be a 2 for now from there. And the damage is dependent on what die you use. Like a bow and arrow, I think or the light crossbow, I think is a D6. The mace is a D8. And then you would add the appropriate number again to add your damage. So when we start attacking stuff more routinely in game, those will totally make sense to you. Magic attack we won't go over. We'll do it when it comes up. It looks complicated, it's really not. I mean, the symbols are all there. A spell save DC is 8, plus the triangle, which is wisdom for you for spells. And then it would be that circle too. But we'll do that when you actually use a spell in the game. So that's pretty much it. You've made your character.
I can inflict wounds. I'm gonna do spells
You need to think up a name.
right now.
Yep.
What was that name?
You want it? Oh, you want to look at the name selections for the wood elf?
I wanna pick a name.
I thought for sure you were doing fairy princess.
I am. Unicorn.
All right, what else?
Chad, should I be a lawful neutral or just a neutral?
I think lawful neutral is probably. I think true neutral is impossible to play
Okay.
because nobody's that.
I'm thinking
balanced.
lawful, that's what I'm
What are
thinking.
the names? Alpha names. I don't think you have examples of
Oh,
those names.
maybe there's an outlook.
I think it was in one of the other books now.
Hold my pen. That's
Yeah.
my
No, this one actually gives examples.
alignment.
Lawful neutral. What?
That would be what that is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Here you go.
That's some shitty ass name.
They give some examples down there. Yeah, no, think about your own name. I mean, Puffy Fluffy Lovinkins.
Name, huh?
How do you pronounce that?
Which one is it? Probably won't know either. Shot. Oh, that? Xanathia, I guess? Sounds very, what are you gonna be, Chris? Name? Do you have a name in mind?
What about that one?
Felosio? A cat name?
Drusilia?
Interesting.
No.
It could be, like Flicker or something, like a Flicker tail or
Liquor?
something cat, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Or you could just like name yourself like little kitty. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go with my tattoo's name.
Mr. Pose. What is it?
Eminon.
Oh, you said that before, yeah.
No name spelled
You
backwards.
just have to make me pronounce it correctly.
So it'd be E-M-A-N-O-N.
Hey.
What's that one?
Eminon.
K.
That has to be kept.
Kilena?
Jay Leno?
Kilena, I guess. I don't even know what you do with that one. No idea.
I kinda like that.
There.
They're all silly.
So this whole weapon, all these don't really matter yet.
No, I'll show you this
What's
one.
your name, Dominic?
Magic
I have a
will,
picture,
magic will
just
wait
like
till
a-
end game. Alright, so basically when you use a weapon, you roll a d20,
Yep.
and then you add the modifier. For a handheld weapon, it's your strength. If you're throwing something or firing something, basically a ranged kind of weapon, a dart, it would be a dart.
Yeah.
Then you use dexterity.
Oh,
So
so this is kind of telling you what you would
Yeah, it shows you the symbol that you're looking for. It just depends on what the weapon category, and it's only these two ever.
Okay.
So if it's a sword, basically it's that. If it's a bow and arrow, it's that. This number is this, right, a 2 there in proficiency. That's where you guys are at. That number goes up as you gain levels. Right now, for all of you, it's 2, and it'll go up the same for all of you. So then you would just add the 2 too. So do
Okay.
that plus whatever that, and then that. The damage depends on the weapon again. Like a light crossbow uses a D6. A longsword uses D10.
Okay.
I think your weapon selection is probably more. Oh, we didn't do your weapons. Oh, we did. It's
We
okay.
did, and I have some on here that it said I could use special weapons like a rapier,
Oh, you can, yeah.
short sword, and a crossbow.
Yep. All right. So next time we'll do that. We'll maybe use some of your money to buy something, but like your quarterstaff is a D6.
Oh, cool.
And
And that helps him cast spells and things
Yeah,
like
the small knife is probably a D4. But if you went to throw the knife, say you went to chuck the knife at
Oh,
somebody,
yeah.
yeah, then you would use Dex.
Cool.
And the damage would be a D4 plus whatever. Like again, this diamond is the same. If it's a weapon you have in your hand, you add that to your damage. If you threw the small knife, then you add because you're doing
Okay.
this there, yeah.
And
we'll do
magic
it.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
We'll do that in game. It's not hard. It's not hard at all, but it's easier if you learn it while you're doing it.
Cool. Now we're done.
You're just waiting for Darby to name her character.
I already like that.
Scribble, scribble.
Rosie Rose Panther.
Casper.
Apollo. What does that say? Kaylana?
Mhm.
Cool.
I like
You may
the-
look up some cat people names
Can you
for
look up like some thief names?
thief names. That's what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah,
Let me recalculate what I got going here.
thief cat names. Look up that.
Yeah, they have a ton of name generators.
What? Don't be an asshole.
For those peanut butter cups, yeah.
Are we all done roughly?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you got everything. Excuse me, you got everything filled in.
Do you know how much longer the timer has too?
Psh, psh, 18 minutes.
Damn. It's only been 2?
Really?
That doesn't seem quite right.
Why did that put hours?
How many hours do we?
I guess 19 hours is what I put in.
Wow, that's some long cooking time for some. There they are.
So you have no idea where we're at per minute?
Do we have any help
Alright.
there? Anyway.
Well, it was at